You woke up thinking about it this morning. Before prayer, before gratitude, before anything else had a chance to settle in your mind, money was already there. The rent, the debt, the account balance. The gap between what comes in and what keeps going out. And you carried it through the whole day, through work, through conversations, through the quiet moments that used to belong to God, but lately belong to calculation. And on Sunday you sat in church, lifted your hands, sang the words. And the whole time, underneath all of it, the numbers were still running. That is not just stress. That is not just a hard season. Something deeper is happening, and God is not ignoring it. This is the Christian point of view. Stay with this one. Here is the thing about idolatry that most people misunderstand. It does not require a statue. It does not require a conscious decision to worship something other than God. It does not announce itself with dramatic fanfare or obvious rebellion. It just requires one thing: preoccupation. Whatever occupies your mind consistently, whatever your thoughts return to automatically in the quiet moments, whatever determines your mood, your peace, your sense of security, that is your functional God. Not the one you confess, the one you actually live by. And for a growing number of Christians in an economy that makes survival feel uncertain, money has quietly moved from a tool in the hand to a throne in the heart. Matthew 6:24. You cannot serve both God and money. Serve is the operative word, not have, not manage, not steward. Serve, to be controlled by, to be directed by, to wake up every morning with your first allegiance already decided before you ever open your Bible. The person who serves money does not look like a greedy person from the outside. They look like a worried person, a responsible person. A person under pressure doing what pressure does to people, narrowing the entire vision of life down to the one thing that feels most urgent. And urgency sustained long enough becomes worship. Here is what nobody names plainly enough. A mind occupied by money is a mind unavailable for everything else. Unavailable for the creativity that solves the actual problem. Unavailable for the relationships that need your full presence. Unavailable for the still small voice that has been trying to give you direction but cannot get through the noise of the calculation running on permanent loop in the background. 1 Timothy 6-9. Those who want to get rich fall into temptation and a trap, and into many foolish and harmful desires that plunge people into ruin and destruction. The trap is not wealth itself. The trap is the wanting that becomes consuming. The preoccupation that starts as legitimate concern and slowly becomes the lens through which every single thing in your life gets filtered. Is this going to cost me? Is this going to make me? Is this safe? Is this enough? Will this be enough? Will I ever have enough? That loop is not faith. That loop is fear wearing the clothes of responsibility. And here is what it produces that nobody wants to admit. The more money occupies the mind, the less it actually produces in the hand, because anxious money decisions are almost never good money decisions. Scarcity thinking produces scarcity results. And a person whose entire inner world is dominated by financial fear will make choices that confirm that fear over and over without understanding why the cycle never breaks. Philippians 4-7. The peace of God which transcends all understanding will guard your hearts and your minds. Guard your hearts and your minds. The peace of God is not passive, it is protective. It stands at the door of your thought life and determines what gets through. But it can only guard a mind that has been surrendered, not a mind white-knuckling its way through every financial decision alone, convinced that the survival of everything depends on the calculation being perfect. This is not a message about money being evil. This is a message about what happens when money becomes the thing your life organizes itself around quietly, gradually, without a single dramatic moment of decision. You do not need less financial awareness. You need a different foundation underneath it. One that does not shake every time the economy does. One that does not collapse every time the account does. One that existed before the bills arrived and will exist after they are paid. Matthew 6:33. Seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. First. Not exclusively, not blindly. First. Put God back at the center of the morning before the numbers get there. And watch what changes, not just in your spirit, but in the decisions, the clarity, and the peace that your finances have been desperately needing from you all along.